Good morning, folks. We're up here in Torridon today, which is in it's in the northwest of Scotland. We're going to do, firstly, one of Scotland's most fabled, amazing mountains, Liathach. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's spelled Liathach. Basically, it's two munros with a sharp ridge between them. I'm then going to descend off Liathach, and then go, rather than coming back and finishing the route, I'm going to go around Alligin, which is another similar mountain, and then descend off what's called the Horns of Alligin, which is another rocky, scrambly ridge thing. And then, if I've got it left in the tank, I'm going to come around the back through the long valley up the back side of Liathach, and then do Beinn, spelled Beinn, Eighe. Yeah, a bit nervous. The weather's not great. It's not stupid, by the way. I'm not daft, but yeah, it's not the best. And it's 3:50 in the morning, and I haven't slept, so only one thing for it. I get old tin of Monster on the go, and let's go get some. Come on, let's go. So far, the path up is just a big staircase, really. It's not too bad at all. A bit misty further up. About halfway up now. Well, we made it to the ridge. This is the Liathach ridge. That's our first top. It's not a Munro, but this is on the eastern end of the ridge. So I've come up to the ridge, turned right, headed east. That should be the sunrise right there. It's 5:26 in the morning. Greatest show on earth. Sunrise, that's Beinn. Magnificent view right behind me. The wilds of Torridon. Anyway, as if that's not exciting enough, that is the vast majesty of Liathach stretching out before me. One of the most mighty and beautiful mountains in Scotland. The cloud just keeps breaking a little bit. Give me a little taster. Any minute now, this cloud's going to open up and this is going to get epic. Have faith, guys. This is going to get good. That's what I'm talking about. Folks, Munro number 1, Spidian Corrie. Apologies if I've pronounced that wrong. Clouds just keep coming and going. Absolutely stunning. So the walk up to here so far, there was a couple of bits where you had to put hand to rock, but really nothing challenging. As I understand it, all the good stuff is yet to come this way. I've got a very long route today. This is Munro number 1 of 6. Huge route lies ahead, but do you know what? I'm taking my time because I've got all the time in the world. It's like 6 in the morning, something like that. I don't care if it takes me till 10 at night. I don't want to rush this. I don't want to miss this. It's fantastic. But let's go. I'm going to switch to voiceover from here because the wind was getting pretty bad. The views at this point start to get quite exciting. There are little side paths you can see on the left there, but the main route is the high line over these pinnacles, as they're called. Nothing too scary, but just really good, satisfying fun. Real exciting stuff. Just following the highest line. If you're easily freaked out about climbing up quite steep rocky things, If it's the very big drop behind you, I wouldn't do this if I was you. It's really fun. Really fun. Look at those clouds behind me. So it was actually hard to film this whilst doing it, but this gives you a good example of the kind of exposure. You've got serious drops on either side, but it's not technical. That is the pinnacles done. Totally doable. If you've got a head for heights, you're reasonably fit, nothing to it. The route onwards from here is a clearly marked path along this ridge, but it's less exposed and less scrambly all the way up to the summit. Here we are, folks. That is Mullach an Rathen. I think that's how you pronounce it. We're overlooking we're overlooking Loch Torridon there, out to sea that way. That's Beinn Alligin there. That's where we're going next. So the aim is to climb up this side. I'm going to go down to that valley there, climb, I'm trying to point backwards, that way. Climb up here, I'm really making a mess of this, along the top there, down over there, back into the valley again. So from the bottom of the valley we cross this little bridge and then we start heading up until we join the main path, and that heading up into this sort of cleft in the mountain. The views start to get quite good from further up Beinn Alligin. It's a nice well-made path all the way up. It's starting to get pretty windy, so I've not been able to make many speech to camera, so excuse the voiceovers. We're cracking on up Beinn Alligin now. It's, again, once you find the main path, it's a pretty easy stairs sort of path. Obviously my legs are starting to feel a little bit sluggish now, but it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm almost at my first Munro on Beinn Alligin. So again, I've got buckets of time. I've got like 11 or 12 hours to play with. The weather's actually perfect today. There's a bit of cloud, but the views are almost endless, and the cloud just gives it a bit of drama. All the mountains in the region. That's the rest of Beinn Alligin, and that's the horns of Alligin in the distance where I'm going to be heading next. This is the view from the first Munro. That's Liathach, which we've just done earlier this morning. We're just following again the highest line over the rest of Beinn Alligin and the horns of Alligin, then down into this valley again, where we're going to pick up the rest of our route. Spectacular. Look at this. Absolutely awesome, isn't it? And over there, that's the Cullins of Skye. Another one of Scotland's mighty mountains that's on my bucket list. That's enough of that excitement. So the way off Beinn Alligin, following the highest line, it's quite scrambly, but nothing too technical. More just good fun than anything. This is the nature of the scrambling up and scrambling down. It's quite airy, but not complicated. It's all pretty straightforward. Like, you have to put your hand to the rock, you have to climb, but it's where it is. We're all this way up on these beautiful edges. It's just magnificent up here. There are a few more ledges and climby bits such as this. And then it's a fairly bouldery descent down onto the main path, back down into the valley where we started at the bridge. Follow the valley up to Beinn. That's our next objective. It's quite a scenic valley. You've got good views of all three mountains along here. It's quite a pleasant little walk actually, and the sun was coming out. Here is Liathach. This is the route we climbed earlier this morning. Looks pretty magnificent from down here. Looks terrifying actually. We're heading round to the north to
access what's known as the triple buttresses of Beinn. Here you can just see them emerging over this loch. Really spectacular cliffs. The rock formations are really impressive, very dramatic. Going round the side of the loch and up this little scree slope here. As you get nearer to the buttresses, they look really impressive, but I'm not looking forward to this scree slope.
Getting up this scree thing is really hard. I'm already knackered, but this is just on top. Just going up there. It's real loose stuff.
That's the first summit on Beinn, now in view. Liathach Moor, I think pronounced, but possibly not. It's a very grey, loose, rocky mountain, this one. Quite a long ridge. Nothing particularly technical on the ridge. There's our second Munro. Getting tired by this point. Really, really windy now. It's well in excess of 40 miles an hour. This is the final climb up to the final summit. I'm feeling pretty drained, but yeah, absolutely buzzing. Spidian Corrin and Clach, or some such. Views are absolutely stunning. There's Liathach behind me. Feeling pretty incredible. But time to go down. I'm going to head off that Beinn there for a shortcut down into the valley, back out to the road. This descent is starting to concern me. It's a really loose scree. I basically descended that. It was dangerous for me and probably not very good for the mountain. In retrospect, I regret it. Don't copy me and come down here.
That is it. I'm back at the van. The trip came in at just under 23 miles, which is not my longest day in the hills, but it was certainly my greatest day in terms of altitude gain. That was, what was that? Just under 13,000 feet. I'll put the metric down there because, you know, feet and that. I'm tired, like really tired, but do you know what? Not half as tired as I might have been. I'm feeling actually just sort of chill now. I think mainly because that was just so epic, just so beautiful, so insane. That was, wow. I don't know how this, that was like the Scooby-Doo van went past there. Mystery machine. Right, I'm signing off now. I'm gonna have a beer. I've got this one here. It's called, maybe this is in reverse because it's a selfie camera, I don't know. It's called Top Out. I thought that was appropriate. It's a really nice beer actually. Top Out Athlete Range. There you go, let's have some of that. Right, cheers folks. That's been a cracking day.